tickle points? Do you like the points? And the socks, because socks. Look at that. He's actually eating it slowly today. Cool. Hey guys, is you gonna come see me? You're gonna see me? Yes? Okay. Okay. You cannot lick the books. That is not how we devour books. Touch with your eyes. Oh, okay guys. Yeah, I forgot the camera was on. Hey, hi, how you doing? It is loud out there. We had a windstorm last week that blew down a tree. And so yesterday they came and chopped down, or the day before yesterday they came and, well, the tree was down, but they chopped it up and carted it away. And apparently the people who live next door to that house decided they wanted their tree down too. So yesterday they lopped it all off, and it looked like, if you looked out there, it looked like Horton and the Who. It was like, oh, it's not Horton. Person's a person no matter how small. Whichever Horton that one was, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It was really funny because it's just like this all straggly thing, and then whoosh, almost like you're on the savannah. It was pretty funny. But yeah, they keep sawing stuff up, and now Neville is laying with my sock. Did you see my sock? Laying with my sock next to the tripod. This isn't going to end well. You start dreaming that he's running, and then shoof, off it goes. Well, when you go this way, you'll know what happened. Okay, I really didn't want to do another book haul already, but I kind of have to. I've gotten rid of a bunch of books, probably maybe 20 books, but most of them weren't, not all, but most of them weren't even mine. They were just stuff that had been dumped off at us, like they know we love books, so here's all these books, and I didn't know what they were. They didn't interest me, so they went back out. You know, people bring them in and they put them among my stuff to put them away, and I'm like, thank you so much, but can we look at them before we put these things away? And so I got rid of a bunch of them. I know there was one, Julian Clausen, something about a bridge, that was in there, and I know Stranger Diaries I had bought, was by Ellie Griffiths. I had bought because it sounded really good, and apparently the beginning of it was really good, and then my friend who was reading it was like, you are not going to like this book. So it went. I don't know where my voice went though, but it went, and since then it's like, yeah, no. He's now moved to the other side of the tripod, which apparently needs to be cleaned. Okay, whatever. But in the meantime, I've gotten quite a few new books, and I got to put them away. At my shelf where I put new books as they come in, I maybe could fit one or two more, maybe. It's just overflowing. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do it as fast as we can. No, really, we're going to try this. So in mostly no particular order, I'm just going to start pulling them out. So I was talking with an author, J.C.P. Allen, who wrote a book I'll be talking about in my next wrap-up. She writes mystery, suspense, YA, and it's not all angsty and sappy YA for the most part. But she mentioned Anthony Doerr, and I guess he wrote All the Light We Cannot See, which apparently is pretty brutal. But she also recommended that one, but she also recommended Cloud Cuckoo Land, which sounds amazing. The New York Times called it hauntingly beautiful. And Vanity Fair says, again, takes language beyond mortal limits. I mean, I like that. But set in Constantinople in the 15th century in a small town in present-day Idaho, and on an interstellar ship decades from now, Anthony Doerr's gorgeous third novel is a triumph of imagination and compassion, a soaring story about children on the cusp of adulthood in worlds in peril who find resilience, hope, and a book. In Cloud Cuckoo Land, Doer has created a magnificent tapestry of times and places that reflects our vast interconnectedness with other species, with each other, with those who lived before us, and with those who will be there after we're gone. I'm going to stop there because, I mean, I was like, yes, because, yes, this is a bit of a chunker, but not too bad. It's 622 pages. It's a larger size. So it's like a 6x9, I think. But it's not dense. So we'll see. Has anyone read this? Am I going to like it? Tell me I'm going to like it. Because, yes. So I have that one. I have a few arcs. Let me see if I can get all the arcs together. And we'll set them aside. Okay, then I pre-ordered and got with all the fun stuffness. See, I actually remembered that there was fun stuffness this time. But Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures. This sounds so cool. It was really funny. Miriam was talking about it and how there are just elements of it that she didn't enjoy because it's not elements she usually enjoys. Steampunkishness and whatever, and I was like, yes, give me that. So I was really excited. And then she was talking about how she may have DNF'd it. She may have DNF'd it now that I think about it. Miriam, did you DNF it? I think you did. But because of that, I really should pull this stuff out of here. But because of that, when she first said that, I was like, uh-oh. But then she said, why? And I'm like, this is why you listen to people. And why you because what they may not like might be exactly what you're looking for. And so, because yes, so it says, Miss Clara Marie Stanton's family may be eccentric, but they certainly aren't insane. When Clara's ex-fiance begins to spread rumors that her family suffers from hereditary insanity, it's all she can do to protect them from his desperate schemes, society's prejudice, and a lifetime in an asylum. Then Clara's grandfather, Drosselmeyer, brings in an apprentice with a mechanical leg, and all pretense of normalcy takes a wing. Now, what I am finding really cool about this, and I don't know if this is it, but her name is Miss Clara, and there's Drosselmeyer. So, does this have a connection to the Nutcrackers? I mean, so anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Angela Bell, Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures. I think it's going to be awesome, but we shall see. This one, I'm going to slide up onto the shelf. Cynthia Ryland, I love, and I had forgotten that she did this, or I didn't know. I can't remember which. It kind of feels familiar now. But does it feel familiar because I've just been seeing so much about it, or because I actually knew about it? Have I read it? I don't think so. But you know what I do see those I remember the feeling that it feels very much like the Garth Williams illustrations in a book not written by, so I don't know. But Old Town in the Green Groves, takes place in Burr, Iowa, where they lived in the years that Laura Ingalls chose not to write about because she didn't think it was appropriate for children. It was a really rough time for the family. They lost the baby Charles, but there was also some funky goings on. I've read nonfiction about it, and there is speculation that Charles Ingalls was actually part of a vigilante squad who took care of some people who were killing travelers in their inn and keeping their money. And so, you know, that kind of thing just wasn't really appropriate for children, so she didn't write it. But Cynthia Ryland found a way to do it, apparently. So, you know, I think the difference is, I think I've seen this. I may have even owned it, but I have not read it. I'm pretty sure that's it, because I don't know what happens in here at all. I mean, other than the fact Burr Oak. So I'm pretty sure I haven't read it, but I think we actually owned it. I bet my girls have. I'll bet that's what it is. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm putting it on the shelf. I've already added another book too. I added this from my shelves in the back room because Krista from Books and Jams was talking about it, and she really enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to grab it. Then there's like all the things. So, Lynn Blackburn, Never Fall Again. Landry Hutton spent 3 years rebuilding her life behind secure gates of the Haven, an exclusive resort on the outskirts of Gossamer Falls. Don't you just love that, Gossamer Falls? North Carolina. After serving as the artist in residence, Landry is finally ready to settle in permanently to give her daughter Eliza a safe home in which to grow up. But then her pottery studio is destroyed in a suspicious fire, and it becomes clear that Landry and Eliza are in danger, but from whom? And then there's other stuff, but that's all I'm really going with. Whoops! Apparently, I've got a sticker that I didn't know about. Woohoo! Oh, and a book plate. But great place to visit, dangerous place to live. Oh, this is cool. So it's, yeah, I'm just going to put it back in here for now, but really. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's all about. I'll put it here for now. I've got a mess. This is just such a mess. And there's, it's like, okay, let's go with this one. So, why is Cat Among the Pigeons there? That's not new. Whatever. The Light Between Worlds. They thought that their story had ended. It had only just begun, by Laura E. Weymouth. They told us, a woodland's heart always finds its way home. But how do you find your way if your heart is torn in two? This was so cool. So it came in, and I thought that was pretty. Okay, that's nice. This sticker, because stickers. I think this black here is actually on top of the Mylar, so I think I'm going to read it off. But look, you open this library book, it actually has, they were still using I was like, wait, what? And it looks like it's from Bridgeport. I thought it was Connecticut, but it's not. It's got to be California, which is kind of cool. Bridgeport, California is small enough. Bridgeport, Connecticut's too big. But Bridgeport, California is small enough that this would be a reasonable thing. So I was kind of excited about that. But 6 years ago, Evelyn and Philippa Hapwell cowered from airstrikes in a London bomb shelter. But that night took a turn when the sisters were swept away to a strange and beautiful kingdom called the Woodlands, where they lived for years in a forest straight out of myth and legend. When they finally returned to London, no time had passed. Nothing had changed. Nothing except themselves. Now, Evelyn is desperate to return to the Woodlands no matter what it takes, while Philippa just wants to move on. And that's all I'm going to read. But doesn't that sound amazing? Yeah, Burroughs building. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. Okay. But speaking of deckled edges, yeah, see, I love that feel. I like the feel. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to this because it's like fantasy meets World War II. I mean, how cool is that? Yeah, because, yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to go with these and then that. Okay, this series by DJ Williams is the Beacon Hill series by DJ Williams, Hunt for Eden Star, and Secrets of the Highlands. I do have an entire podcast where we chatted about these books, and yeah, they sounded amazing. I believe they're on audio. It's they're Christian fiction put out by Tyndale's Fantasy, whatever, YA. So the author, Derek, was raised in Hong Kong, and he's traveled all over the world. And so some of the stories that he told about on the podcast. But the story even about how this book got published and all that he's done is also pretty cool. But it just sounded so good. But it's also on audio, so I don't know if I'm going to listen or read or both or what. But, man, this is a beautifully floppy book. We'll see. But it says, his sister's death revealed an epic hidden war. Now he must join the fight. Reeling from the recent death of his sister, Jack Reynolds is thrown into a world of ancient secrets when he discovers a powerful supernatural artifact. With the help of a diverse group of boarding school friends, Jack embarks on a global adventure seeking the truth about his sister's death and battling literal and psychological demons in his quest to thwart the forces of evil and protect the future of civilization. And then I'm only going to read this little part on Secrets of the Highlands. He's uncovered ancient secrets at a great cost. Now he must embrace his destiny to unleash the truth. So the Eden Star is a thing, and in here he's going to learn how to use it apparently. So, but yeah, I was like, whee! They sound so good. The more he talked about it, the more I think I may have ordered them before we even got done talking on the podcast, because I was like, yes, because yes. All right. And then when I was talking to Jennifer Dybel about the Irish Matchmaker and the whole village that has their month-long matchmaking festival and everything, and you know, her story about it, she mentioned this one about the guy who inspired the book. His name is Willie Daly. His family has, I don't know if you can see it. See that journal? Yeah. That is generations old, like 3 or 4 generations old. It's filled with all the matches that their family has made. This is their business. This is what they do. And he wrote his story. Willie Daly has helped hundreds of couples find love in his long and successful career as the horse whisperer of romance. In The Last Matchmaker, he reveals the secret to finding true happiness and shares the story of his life, bringing people together in love and marriage. And so, oh look, there's a map inside. But she talked about this book and how she had, that's cool. And how she had actually talked to him and was, inspired by him. So I was like, I want to read what he had to say. So I will be reading her book, yes, but I also wanted to read this. And then these are not new. I don't know what they're doing here. Okay, then I was on Facebook not that long ago, maybe 3 weeks at the most. Yeah, it's not been that long. And I saw a post from Michael Phillips, and he said he had a new book coming out, and it was the most important book he felt he had written. And it's The Invisible War, Tribulation Cult Book 1, a novel. And I was thinking we got kind of a different twist on Left Behind maybe. And I was a little uncertain, but then I read the back. Like literally just now, and had to start over because I had it all wrong. It says, the third millennium has not ushered in the return of Christ as many Christians expected and as many prophetic bestsellers predicted. A tribulation of a very different kind has inundated America and is threatening to destroy its once cherished spiritual fabric. In Invisible War, one of this generation's most prolific and beloved Christian authors, Michael Phillips, has penned what may be the magnum opus of his influential and best-selling career. After more than 100 books, Phillips turns his attention to the cultural divide ripping the nation of the United States from its roots. Phillips poses a shocking question. Might the Christian church be in the midst of tribulation and not even know it? After looking back to the origins of progressivism's new left in the 60s, Phillips casts his gaze to the future where he asks, are progressivism and traditional Christianity headed? They are obviously on a collision course. What will the American church look like in 2050, if it exists at all? This thought-provoking dramatic series is called The Tribulation Cult. Its books stretch over 3 generations, climaxing with the election of 2048. So, I don't know what I'm going to find in here, but this is the kind of thing that Phillips does so well, that I love so well. So I think I might be back to devouring Phillips again, and I'm so excited. I quit reading him when he went into the South. I didn't like what he did there, and on top of that, the stuff that he came up with after it, I don't know why I couldn't get into it, and it may just be a mental block from those. But when I saw this, I was like, must have, and so I'm hoping this will like reprime that pump for Phillips so that I can go back and read those post-Civil War ones that he's done since then. Something about the Shetlands and I like the Heartmaker or something like that. So I'm hoping. I can hope. Then I talked with Sochi Dixon. She's like the sweetest woman on the planet. At the Orange County Christian Writers Conference, her job, she had one job. Her job was to stand there and pray for people. Pray for them if they came up to her and asked for prayer. Pray for them if she saw them walk by. Pray, period. She spent the entire conference praying for people. She is just that kind of woman. And she wrote Different Like Me, which is a super adorable children's book. And now this one, What Color is God's Love? And she did really cool things with color and not necessarily what you would expect. It talks about what colors do for people, and like red helps me remember I'm forgiven, white keeps me going when the day feels too rough, pink sparks my imagination, blue makes me feel calm, orange makes me feel grateful. You're not going outside to bark. It ain't gonna happen. You go lay down. Come on. There's purple. Come on. There was brown fills me with compassion. Gray makes me feel hopeful. Gray makes me feel hopeful. I love that. So it's just super cool, super sweet. And of course I had to have it. The illustrations are utterly delightful. I mean, they're just stunning. Right? So yeah, I had to have that because grandbabies and because I have a thing for children's books. And so I was talking to my friend Anne, who I went to Scotland with and England with last May. And I asked, was like, okay, that bookstore that you guys went into, what books were in there? What were they selling? Because I need it like now, right? And she was, you are so weird. She didn't have a lot, but she's like, there was this one book that I bought and I read half of it on the way home. I need to get it back from, she bought it for her dad. She's like, I need to get it back from my dad because I want to finish it. It was so good. And that was the Tartan Pimpernel. I almost said Pimpernickel. The Tartan Pimpernel by Donald Caskey. It is about him. He has written his own story, and he was in Paris when the Nazis came in, and he could have gotten out, but he didn't. He stayed and he helped with the resistance, and it's just his story. And she said it was so good. Oh, I just realized there are actually pictures. So there, I didn't know that. Who knew? So yeah, I'm really excited. I definitely am. I actually want to put this up here because I need to read it now. This book has to be done soon, and I need, yeah. So, Tartan Pimpernel, have you read it? I need to know. The Scotsman says, more thrilling than any adventure story. I'm so excited. So, yeah, if you've read it, I want to know. Just no licking of the me's. We don't do the licking of the me's. No. I know, Neville. I know. It's just so rough. Okay. Then I have 3 arcs. I'm going to be talking to at least 2 of these authors pretty soon. Patricia Raybon's Truth Be Told and Analie Spain mystery. I've read the first 2 mysteries. The first one I really liked. There were a few little minor issues that I was just like, Second one I really loved, if I recall, and this is like just going off the top of my head. And now this one, they take place in Denver. I mean, come on. I love it. It says, Denver's newest detective, a garden's deadly secrets. On a lovely June night in 1924, amateur detective Analie Spain is mingling bravely at a high-class political fundraiser in the lush backyard garden of the famed political fixer Cooper Coates, one of the wealthiest men in Denver's black neighborhood of 5 Points. When Coates' young daughter discovers a pretty stranger dead in her father's garden shed, Analie is thrust onto the baffling new case just as she's reeling from another recent discovery. A handwritten letter found buried in her own garden that reveals the identity of her mother. So that whole story with her mom thing is going to continue apparently. And yeah, I'm really enjoying these. It's just so good. 1920s mysteries and Denver. I'm in for it. Lethal Standoff by Diane Mills. Another Tyndale. Hostage negotiator Carrington Reed is called to the scene when reports come in that 15 hostages are being held by the Kendricks brothers in an abandoned house in South Texas. When she arrives on the scene, Carrington quickly learns that the brothers are armed and refuse to release their victims, a group of undocumented immigrants, until the local police identify their father's murderer. Wow. I like that. That is cool. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a totally different twist on hostages. Just give me answers, finish this case, and these people come back. That's kind of neat. I mean, I can't justify it. It's wrong. But it's kind of neat. I kind of like it. And then T.I. Low Country Lost. Now, I read her... I think it was Driftwood something. Yeah, it was Driftwood something. And I really loved it. It was a romance, a little mass market paperback romance. And so I didn't... Is it Driftwood? I think it's Driftwood something. Really, really, really loved it. And there was some depth to it, and there was some richness to it. Yeah, it was a romance, but I didn't care because there was a story there that was beyond just guy meets girl. So I was like into it. And I bought the other 2 books. I still haven't read them. I also got Lulu's Cafe, which I have not read. And I feel like one more. But if I recall correctly, I need to reread it. Read it really fast in the middle of writing a book. And that tends to make me forget everything. But I think I read her Under the Magnolias and loved it. That was a tough one. Or not Under the Magnolias. Something about the Magnolias. Anyway, but she has a new one, Low Country Lost. Look at that cover. Eee! Sometimes what haunts you most is wondering what could have been. Elvis prides herself on being able to fix just about anything except her past. Unable to put the puzzle of her life together, she pours heart and soul in making neglected places whole again. As the owner of Low Country Lost, Ava Lee spends her days in hot pink Carhartt overalls and a tool belt, reclaiming low country properties. Making them beautiful again releases the deep sigh that soothes the hurt she holds. And I'm just going to stop there because I don't want to know what that hurt is. I want to find out through the book. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So, have you read it? Am I going to read it? Am I going to love it? I mean, I don't think it's even been released yet. Yeah, Under the Magnolias. I mean, it would have helped if I'd looked at the cover. But yeah, so I want to know, have you read an arc? Did you love it? Do I need to like move it up really fast? I don't know. And then I got so I did the Kickstarter for Power Pup after talking to Amanda Trumpower. She had released these. They're so cute. She released these first, and then she did a Kickstarter for this one. And Power Pup meets Riptide. But I'm kind of sad. I like that the back of this has the Bow Wow bark, theft of biblical proportions, and new hero in town, Bow Wow bark, right? But this one doesn't have the. So it's a superhero dog who has strong Clark Kent vibes in that he's just kind of your nerdy guy working for a newspaper until he has to go change and become Power Pup. And he, if I recall correctly, she said he's learning how to be a superhero, specifically in the first one. But yeah, so I wanted to support it because Christian middle grade, I'm all for it. I want to support Christian middle grade. But I went ahead and did the tier that offered the color cases, which are a mystery series that have cats and... Is it just cats and dogs? Or is, I mean, just cats, or is it cats and dogs? Yeah, it's cats and dogs, I think. But I think mostly the cats are the ones that are doing it. But yeah, I don't know lots about these. She talked about them on the podcast. I'll try to remember to link some of those too. But I wanted to A, support her, but B, I want to find out, you know, I got grandkids, you know. So because reasons, I'm gonna put those over there. And last, and definitely not least, but last, I've already shown them once, but my Pallister novels did come in. I have caught up on the Barchestershire novels. Yeah, I'm falling in love with these novels. Can I just say I want to be Mr. Harding when I grow up? So bad, so bad. So I'm hoping that these will be as good. I bought them. I was going to buy just like that set. Had a set ready to go, and by the time I went in to actually buy them, they had sold. So the price wasn't as great anymore, so I bought these instead. I can't get them out, so I'm not going to even try. But yeah, those are what I have gotten lately. I just finished quite a few books. Finished Emma and the Reasons. I finished Barchester Towers. I finished Goodnight, Mr. Tom, which we have to talk about. Can't see what else is over there. All right, I'm still in the middle of A Savior is Risen. It's a beautiful little devotional. It's pretty fluffy. Okay, I'll admit. It's pretty fluffy. But it's kind of just a gentle reminder, too. You know, things that you know, but you need to... You have to... You can't just learn something once and move along and not be reminded of it, or you lose focus on it. And so that's what this has been doing for you. It just got little tiny reminders about compassion and about focus and about grace and mercy. And, you know, just, I think it's a Lenten thing. She talks about Lent a lot. I think it's a Lenten thing in that I think there's 40 days of it. And I didn't catch that. I thought there was 31. And so I was planning on reading it in March and forgot about it. And so when I saw it the other day, I was like, I'll read 3 a day and we'll just call it good. So I'm in the middle of that. Love it. Just brought out Dr. Thorne last night. And looking forward to starting that one. I also took out The Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus last night. I had not started it. And The Tangled Tale of the Wool Gathering Cast-Offs by Sharon Mondragon. I got that off. And then I'm still reading The Baron's Apprentice, which so far I'm liking better than The Lady's Confession, but not as well as The Curate's Awakening. I don't know if anything is going to top that Curate's Awakening, but that one might be my favorite of MacDonald's books, period. Maybe even more than The Lost Princess, which you really shouldn't compare them, but I am. Yeah, yeah, those are what I have on the stack right now. So, you know, that's about 20 chapters a day. They'll be done soon. Sorry about the late video. I completely forgot that yesterday was Wednesday. And so I was like, I can do my video tomorrow. Life is going to be grand. And I woke up and I was doing stuff and I was getting ready for the video. And I was like, wait a minute, this is Thursday. This is not Wednesday. So sorry. Better late than never. And I'm sorry it's another haul, but I really wanted to get these out of here, but I wanted to share some of the books. I wanted to know about a few, like that Cloud Cuckoo Land. I especially really want to know about that. And Light Between Worlds. Chantal, was she the one that read that and really liked it? Maybe? And have you read the Beacon Hill series by DJ Williams? I want to know these things. And then I really wanted to share about Michael Phillips' new book, because Michael Phillips and the Power Pup / Collar Cases and my arcs, because, you know, these are books that are coming out and people are looking for something new. You can see what they're supposed to be about. And I'll be back Monday with some fun stuffness. That's all I'm telling you. That's what you get. Yeah. There's no way I can lift all of these up here. Just, these don't even belong up here. I mean, it's just getting a little... and I'm not done. So yeah, but now I can put these away. Okay, there's only one more. I feel a little better. Now I can put these away. I'm so happy. So happy. Don't forget, I'll put a link down there, but I promised to give this away, and I can't remember if anyone caught it because it was like chopped up in a bit, but I do have this journal. I will warn you, it has dark lines, but I do have this journal that I'm happy to send to someone. If you haven't commented on that thing, let me know because I want to mail it out soon. But yeah,